Hey everyone. Hopefully you killed it in the markets today. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. If you like making lots of money or you need help making more money, subscribe to the channel. I can help you out. I identify very cheap, undervalued sectors where the money has flowed out of, and eventually that money will come back and rotate back into the sector, increasing its value and hence increasing our investments. If you like this content, give me a thumb up. I'm going to talk about gold and silver. I'm going to see how we did today. I'm going to show you that we did break out on silver, and we're going to take a look at gold and some of the charts of the producing companies and see how today has influenced those charts. So let's look at gold and silver and see what the squeeze put on for silver. So chart patterns. What we're looking for is strong finishes in terms of the day. We're looking for compression or squeezing of price into resistance or support levels. That's where we see an explosion of price. And we're looking for chart pattern breakouts of major patterns because that's where large price movements typically occur, or when they break out of major chart patterns. Put the squeeze on them shorts, right? Shorts are losing money and need to close the positions by buying the stock back. That is what a short squeeze is, and it adds even more buying pressure. And I think that some of the companies are entering short squeezes right now. So we should be already invested in those areas if you've been subscribed to this channel. And I've showed you a lot of these chart patterns. You've probably seen it before they even happened. And you should have already been positioned if you wanted to partake in this short squeezing. So here we are. We're going to look at gold. And right now, gold's kind of coming off from a very oversold area. We had some pretty good beatings coming down. The candlesticks contracted here where the opening price and closing price went sideways here. They opened and closed very close together. It means the momentum was worked off, and then the momentum changed, and we're coming back up to the upside. Hopefully the momentum continues. It looks like it did pretty well and closed pretty strong. So hopefully that momentum continues to the upside, and we have another good day tomorrow. We'll see. And if we don't have a good day, what we want to see is a very small down day. We call it a bloody nose. And what happens is we have a big, large up day. We have a little bit of profit taking or sellers. That's what they call it. And we have a little down day that is considered a big, tall guy with a little bloody nose. And then we'll head up after that. So it's either, what I'd like to see is either another up day, a very strong move to the upside, or a small down day called a bloody nose. Silver, we're peaking out here. We're breaking out of the top here. Nice big move, 3% move to the upside. So that's good. It's looking very strong. We had a very good base to kind of come up. We were squeezing up into this corner of this resistance here, of this pattern, and we broke to the upside. That's looking fantastic for silver. The squeeze could potentially be on. And here's platinum. We broke this uptrend here. Typically what I see is we pull up, we have a wick at the top, and we have some contraction days where the body candlestick sizes are very small. So we could see a little bit of a pullback here. We could. And then a head on up. So what typically happens is you break a chart pattern. It breaks up. We have some sellers. It kind of pulls back, and then we get a bunch more buyers to come in because there isn't many sellers up here. And we head on up to the upside, typically. Now, looking at the 10-year and 30-year, I always like looking at that. Looks like we are moving up still in yields. So what I'm showing you is that gold and silver can move up along with yields. And that's typically what happens. Inflation's already here. People are selling their bonds, and we have a real negative interest rate. And what that does is it drives the selling of bonds where money rotates out of bonds. It'll even rotate out of stocks and move into where we are already at in commodities, precious metals, and real estate. That's where I think the money is going to flow, and it will flow out of bonds and a lot of the other sectors and stocks. So the 10 years moving up and the 30 years moving up. And if you notice, they're moving up. The 30 years moving up a little bit faster than the 10-year, which means that the yield curve is steepening a little bit. And when it steepens like that, I typically think that's good for commodities. Endeavor Silver. We have this chart pattern here. This is a silver company. We got a chart pattern here. It was kind of coming up. We put in a nice big bullish engulfing. The bullish engulfing means that we have an up day where the candlestick body engulfs the ones before it, which means it's on either side. The opening and the close engulfs the ones before this. That typically means that it wants to move to the upside. And what we're seeing here is the move to the upside. We had this resistance. It kind of compressed up against the resistance, maybe did a little breakout back test, and then boom, gone. So that's looking very good for Endeavor Silver. Fortuna Silver Mines, we have a bullish engulfing right here. The candlestick engulfed the one before it. We had a nice little pullback, and typically they like to shoot higher after this. If you are watching my videos on market updates and technical analysis on gold and silver, everyone was well aware of this. I said, this is what I see. This is what's going to happen. All we need is the price to move up. And the price moved up, and these shot higher, just like I thought. That's good. Hecla Mining, bullish engulfing, boom, shoot higher, 13% up day. I did this towards the end of the day. I don't know if they actually closed here, but very strong move. It is following the price of silver, and these companies are doing exactly what we want them to do, is to provide leverage to the silver move. So that's good. And the short squeeze looks like the short squeeze is on these. Mag Silver, another one looking great. And just want to show you, there's the bullish engulfing right here. And another thing that you want to look at as an investor, if you're a trader too, you have these two big up days. The candlestick body lengths are very large, and they covered a lot of distance in a short period of time, and the sell-off is very muted. See how these 2 days are inside this one big up day? Typically, it's a continuation pattern to the upside to move on up. And I was seeing this in all the silver stocks, and I was sharing it on the channel, what I was seeing, and I even added a lot of these companies into the hypothetical portfolio when they were down. First Majestic, look at that, 12% up. I like the contraction, big up day, bullish engulfing. We had the small down days next to it, and then the punch higher. I see this all the time. Here's your bullish engulfing right here. And then let me see, there's probably one down here. No, but the bullish engulfing was right here. That was the setup of this move, and then another bullish engulfing. Looking great. Discovery Metals broke to the upside. So here's the little candlesticks all trying to break out of this resistance line. So there's a lot of sellers that this thing had to go through. So it was the buyers were coming in. It was sell, 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 sell. The ratio of buyers to sellers were quite equal in here, and that's why the opening and closing prices were so very close, and the body candlesticks are so small. And then eventually, the buyers overwhelm the sellers, and boom, it punched through. We may see this pull back a little bit. Typically, when you break out, you break out, it pulls back, and then you just fire on higher. Here's Metallic Minerals, nice big day, huge volume, my lord. Looks like this is a favorite amongst the silver guys. It's one of my favorites. Just looking at the bottom down here, bullish, piercing, bullish, piercing, bullish, piercing. These add up, and it's like there's a good, strong support area down here. And I'd be a buyer, and I was a buyer. And I even did analysis on this for the channel. Here's Sandstorm Gold. I said you need to watch some of these because once they come down, if we see gold turn, these are they're gonna want to come up, and there could be a lot of short sellers on some of these. So we could see this move to the upside quite well if gold continues to move higher. Wheat and precious metals, it's right there at that support line. I said this was a good spot to be entering. I entered into wheat and precious metals and some of these royalty companies on the hypothetical portfolio, and here we are bouncing off that support. So that looks good. Franco-Nevada looks like we have a downtrend here. It broke to the downside, and we might be coming back up. And remember, we are in market conditions that are right for precious metals. So I would be watching Franco-Nevada. It's up to you if you want to cost average in a little bit, but this looks pretty good, and it's pretty cheap. Franco-Nevada is a very large royalty company, precious metals royalty company. Free Gold Ventures broke its downtrend. It's kind of sitting here. Sometimes you break, and then you back test, or you sit at the top of the pattern. I like buying on top of patterns like this, and then we'll see potentially a move higher when gold moves higher. Impact Silver, another silver company that I like, that I am a big holder of. The lows are stepping up into this. We broke out. You can see this breakout. It came back, and now we're stepping back up into this. I'll call it, this is a magnetic line. We either go below it, we go above it. It always comes around this 80 cent line or so, 83 cent line. It's killing us. It just keeps coming back. But I think we're going to see a potential move to the upside here, and hopefully we blow out of this congestion area. When we blow out of here, I think we'll see a big price move to the upside. Here's Mattel Royalty, another one, another gold royalty company. I like royalty companies. It's down. We've got a wick on the bottom here. We're kind of the momentum. So this momentum came up, and you can see, I see this all the time in charts, and hopefully you guys can see this with me. We pull down, it's a big pullback. We pull up, and it's a smaller pullback. It's a smaller pull up, a smaller pullback, smaller pull up. We're literally condensing or coiling up into a little pattern here. And I think right now would be a good low cost entry point to cost average in a little bit. That's for me. And remember, I can't give financial advice. This is not financial advice. This is about learning how to read charts and what I would be doing. And right now I would be cost averaging in a little bit to MTA. I think it's a good setup. So gold and silver look fantastic. Gold, we need more follow through with gold, but silver broke out of its pattern. It looks great. I'd like to see a continuation of this move for tomorrow. I'm very curious to see which direction it goes. Even if it opens down a little bit, I want to see if the buyers step in and continue to push this thing up. What I want to see is overwhelming buyers. Just the buyers come in, overwhelming any sellers that exist in these metals. That's when I'm going to have the confidence to say, hey, look, this thing is ready to go. I think silver's ready to go. Gold just needs to continue to have its momentum to the upside. If gold continues, I think silver's going to rip it. That's what I think. Because usually they move in tandem. Gold and silver are married together, so to speak, and they have to move. It's like they move in tandem. So if we see gold continuing some strength, or even if it goes just sideways, I think silver is gonna do very well. So the silver squeeze it's on. The silver squeeze is on. They're getting squeezed. A lot of the companies, EXK, AG, FSM, Hecla Mining, HL, Mag Silver, there's going to be some large short squeezes in those companies if silver moves up. And we're seeing it happen right now. If you guys like this content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Give me a thumbs up. Help me out with these algorithms. Leave comments below on what you guys think. Do you think the silver squeeze is on right now? Is this enough evidence to say, hey, look, silver's ready to go? Now it's just buyers are going to just step in and keep overwhelming them. I think that's going to happen. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Love to hear your opinions and thoughts on it. Let me know how you guys are playing the silver squeeze or gold. Let me know what companies you guys own. I like looking at some of the charts that you guys own. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.